Okay, good morning. Still dark outside. Um, this is a request video by Durrell from Orchids for Dummies. It's the loudest YouTube channel ever. But he asked if I could do a video on what you might need when you first start out with orchids. So, what you see on the table is everything you need if you want to start with serious orchid growing. I mean, one or two fells in a windowsill don't need this much stuff. So if you're planning on making this your hobby and you want to get good at it, this is, well, the bare necessities. I had to put that in because I saw Mowgli yesterday. It's a bloody good movie, I think. Watch it. It's on Netflix, so it's cheap. I got it cheaper because I downloaded illegally. Please don't tell anyone. Are we in flavor? Yes, we are. Okay, it's starting to get balmy in my house. Okay, I'm gonna take you by the hand and lead you to the promised land. Okay, orchids. Well, I've written down some points and I'm going to check them like so. Okay, points are checked. Let's get on with it. Oh man, it looks like an operating table. Well, this is going to be chaotic, as always. You need this. This is an RO unit, and RO stands for reversed osmosis, and this basically cleans your tap water, but because tap water is not okay for orchids. It has the wrong kind of calcium and magnesium, which can't be absorbed by plants, and well, there's probably some clean shit they put in at the purifying plant. Okay, let's go through this. This is the main filter. This is a sediment filter. It filters out sand and dirt and stuff. It says so on the label. That is pumped through here to a carbon filter, which is even smaller than this one. It's get pumped through here into the main filter, which is the actual osmosis filter, and then chucked out here on the blue line. And this is your runoff. Now, this is the water that is this is clean water. This is what you're left with, and that's the downside of this machine. For every 3 liters for every liter you pump through here, 3 liters come through this one, so it's wasteful. This is a flow restrictor, and that means all the water that has come through here is not able to go back into the system, into your blue line. It's connected to the water main, and when you turn it on, well, it works, and it works at 2 psi. How? Yeah, a little over 2 psi. That's the water pressure here. Okay, when you're done with this, my tap water has a TDS of 274, and when I get it through this filter, it has a TDS of 9. TDS stands for total dissolved salts, and that's basically what your food is made of. It's all salts. So that's the water. Very important, because normal tap water will clog up your root system and horror will ensue. RO unit. This is a TDS meter, and now I know what everyone else has with unboxing and doing stuff with one hand. Yay, tripod. This little meter tells you exactly how many stuff is dissolved in your water. Let me pause you and give you an example. This is a cup of normal tap water, and if I put in, there you go, 259. So that means that there are 259 particles dissolved in 1,000,000 particles of water. Now that doesn't seem like a lot, but it is. And if I use a filter, this will be brought down to 9 or 10. So that's a good thing. The RO unit produces 278 liters of RO water per 24 hours. So you need a big bucket, and you can't leave it alone. The machine itself, mine was 45 euros. That's about $50. This little gadget was 20 euros or thereabout. That's about somewhere between $20 and $25. Okay, man, this is going to be a long ass video. Other stuff you need. Oh. This is, well, it's in the wrong bottle, but this is hydrogen peroxide. And that is used to sterilize the roots. When you do a repot, this is what you use for sterilizing your root system. And that's hydrogen peroxide, H2O2. If you have to make a cut in one of your orchids, especially the larger wounds, you need something to close it off, so no sickness or beasties can get in, and that's cinnamon. And what you see there is the Dutch word for cinnamon, and you can forget that. Cinnamon dries out the wound very fast, and it has some antiseptic qualities, and very important. The other thing is alcohol, and that's just this stuff. This rubbing alcohol, 70%. You can't drink it, and that's just for sterilizing your hands, your tools, not your orchid, because it will burn. absolutely. Okay, that's that. For cutting off big pieces, you need something sharp with a clean cut, and that's this, pruning shears. And the upside it has to a knife is that when you do it correctly, nothing moves. Makes a very clean cutting motion instead of a knife which does this and will eventually grip some tissue and rip your plants apart. So for big roots, rhizomes, pruning shears. For the small stuff, you need a very sharp scissors. And these are hairdresser scissors. Not expensive. Both of these can be bought for under $10. Tweezers. Because reasons. Why wouldn't you use tweezers? This is for really small stuff you can't get out any other way. Am I still comprehensible? Okay. This is a screwdriver, and I use that to poke holes in pots. And I'm going to get to that a little later. You might also need, or want to need, a few of these. And these are for staking canes on dendrobiums or cattleyas. I don't like them. You might. Different sizes. These are to be avoided and thrown out as soon as you get them, because they are really horrible and damage your plants. Guaranteed. This is what you want. Different size hair clips. And you can buy these by the pound, so that's what you need. Oh, chuck these away. Okay. Come up, understand. The next item. This stuff is all for maintenance. So when you work on your orchids, this is what you need. Feeding time. This is pre-made, and I use this. This is orchid feed, at least it says so, and it has NPK, and I'm not sure how which is which, but NPK, and 20%, 20%, 20%. And I dissolve that in, well, let's say 40 ounces of water, or just as much as I can dissolve in it. And this is what I use to make the feed. And it says 1 gram per liter water, but that's way too much. I only use a little splash of this in a lot of water. This is what's in here is enough to make 300-400 liters of water. really juicy. What you need more is added nutrients, and strangely enough, this is calcium and magnesium, and you only need a few drops of it. And these two are not in this feed or in any other orchid feed. So you have to add these two. Now you can add garden lime and seaweed, but that's for a later stage. This is the basics. This is what you need. Yes, you're also going to need this, because you're going to have a lot of headaches in the beginning. Ibuprofen always works. Okay, that's food. Is it? Yes, it is. Food. If there are questions, you can always leave them in the comments. These are also really nifty. Plant stakes. Well, you know where those go and what to do with it. Pots. You need a lot. At least when you start buying orchids. Make sure you buy these. Look, it has an air cone. And I poke in holes to make it even more airier. So the orchid has breathing room. Pots. Next item. We did with that one, that one, that one, that one. Okay, we did them all. Okay. Yeah, oh yeah. Starting out with orchids, I would suggest that you buy a lot. And you should buy one of these. Oh. And a few of these. And a few of these. And maybe a few of these. Let me explain. This is a phalaenopsis. Has really big fleshy roots, and this is basically the best introduction to orchid root systems, because they are really visible and they don't lie. If they're sick or dead, you see it immediately. This is a Oncidium sweet sugar. Now this is a small specimen, but they get very big, and they have a really fine root system. This one isn't showing that well, but it has a, oh yeah, here are a few roots. See, small roots, really stringy. Same goes with this one, and this is a dendrobium. A dendrobium nobile to be precise. And again, this has a very fine root system. Oh, there you go. And this is a Cattleya, really big flowers. And this has also big fleshy roots, but of a different kind of the phalaenopsis. And if you start out with this group, you're basically covered all the root systems in the orchid family. Most, if not all, orchids answer to one of these 4 types. And if I'm not correct, please slap me on the wrist, because I'm also just a beginner. But buy at least 10 or 15 orchids so you keep busy, and by keeping busy you're learning. And that's really important, because the learning curve can be very steep, especially when you watch 10 or 15 orchid channels, because everybody has its own way. This stuff can be grown in multiple combinations. I grow mine in a reasonably dry and warm climate. Not the best of climates, but it's all I have to work with for now. Any more points left? No, I know, we checked them all. Okay, okay, a little bit on the end. If you want to put them on a piece of wood, like I like to do, beautiful bedara, gorgeous big flowers. If you want to mount, you need a dangerous saw, any saw, a wire cutter, some wire for hooks, fishing line for fixing the orchid to a piece of wood. I like to do that with floral wire and drill a few holes. And if you have really tiny orchids, you could use this. This is floral adhesive, and I've used it. It works. But I don't have really small orchids, so that's for later. So this is what you need when you go mounting, and that's what you need when you start growing. And I don't think it's overdoing it, because you want healthy plants, you want flowers, you want new growth, new roots. And the moment I got this was literally within a few weeks I could see the difference between what I did before the RO unit and after the RO unit. This was also a great help. You can immediately see results. Okay, yes, and und so weiter und so weiter. Gibt's noch anders? Nein, gibt's nichts mehr. Okay, that's it for now. I'm going to upload and do a little watering. Later.